Hi everyone, today's video is going to be an overview of my USA road trip that I took last year with my family. It was a lot of driving, and we initially started off this trip with just 4 members, my sister, father, brother, and myself. We drove through about 6 states during this entire trip. My brother and my father did most of the driving, but they let me drive a little bit in Montana, which was lovely. I've never driven on US roads before, and that was an interesting experience. They're the same as Canadian roads. It was really interesting to see the landscape while we were driving through the US. My brother jokes that this trip was a McDonald's road tour because we basically stopped at a McDonald's in every state that we went to. We had to wash the car because there were too many bugs on the car itself. I swear American bugs are bigger than Canadian ones. So our first stop for that night was a Airbnb in Salt Lake City. Our host was very generous, and they had a little cubby hole that was Harry Potter inspired. It was a great stopping point for the night. We had noodles, of course. So that was day 1 of driving. It took us 16 hours. The next day we continued throughout Utah, went through a little bit of Arizona, as well as Nevada, and finally we made it to California. The scenery is absolutely amazing. It really is such an amazing place to just travel through. We reached our next Airbnb at Oceanside, California. It was just a single room, and we were only there for one night. It was perfect for our needs. And the next morning, it was off to the temple that my mom was staying at. She was basically the reason why we are in California. She officially became a monk, and I ended up not getting a lot of footage for the next few days because it was more personal. But at the temple, they had a really old turtle. He was apparently around 140 years old, so that was pretty amazing. Where are we going? We were able to go shopping, and Trader Joe's is my new favorite place. We came at a really good time. Most stores had a lot of pumpkin spice goods out, so we got a lot of pumpkin spice cereals that I was super excited to try when we got back to Canada. Our next Airbnb was in Bonsall, California, which is closer to the temple that my mom was staying at, and it was a very nice room, and the Airbnb hosts were so nice. Plus they had 2 dogs, and that was basically the selling point of this Airbnb. We also got to try hot ruffles and hot lays too. Everything spicy seems to be a very big trend in the States. The ruffles one is the best one. So after our days at the temple, we moved to our next location, which was in Arizona. We were here to see the Grand Canyons, and I was not disappointed. Our Airbnb was super lovely. It was an off-grid type of Airbnb, and that was so cool to experience. The sunsets and sunrises were absolutely breathtaking. I wish that my camera was able to capture it fully because it was so stunning, so beautiful. We were also able to visit the park, and it was a lot deeper than I could have imagined. The colors were absolutely amazing, and I definitely wasn't able to capture just how majestic the Grand Canyons are. I highly recommend you check out the Grand Canyons if you're ever in the area. On our way back, we stopped by Flagstaff, and we had to find the only Vietnamese establishment there, and we had pho, and it was good. And by the time we got back, we watched another amazing sunset and played Cards Against Humanity. That was my brother's first time playing, and he absolutely enjoyed himself. After that, it took us another 12 hours to reach Yellowstone National Park, and it took us basically all day of driving to reach our Airbnb, which was an absolutely amazing place. So Yellowstone National Park is a park that my father wanted to visit ever since he came over from Vietnam, and he finally got to see it. It is absolutely amazing seeing the earth react this way, and the waters were so amazing, and just the fact that there is steam everywhere. The day that we went, Old Faithful wasn't as high as it usually was, but it was still lovely to look at. The scenery is really interesting and just awe-inspiring. After that, we rested for another day at our Airbnb and then headed right back home to Calgary. Overall, it was a really fun trip, and I'm really glad to have been able to take it with my family. They made it so fun, and it was absolutely amazing to just see the American landscape. This is a trip that I will remember for a very long time, and I'm super grateful and thankful that I was able to take this trip. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw in this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!